too much success with all their insightful views. Do you grow yourself or buy from the top shelf? Are you here to take the reins and gain back your health? Whatever it is, you know the biz. Leave a like, crack a pipe, and let's get on with it. If you want to acquire the knowledge, you don't have to go to college. You can just come hang with Aaron and Dave.
Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast with Two Dope Dudes. We're a podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. I'm Aaron.
I'm Dave.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a nice day out, but it's definitely starting to be fall.
Inside work is very cold and outside work is very hot.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it feels like when you're inside work when it's very cold, and then you walk outside work and it's very hot.
Is it very cold inside your work?
It's got to kind of stay that way sometimes.
I mean,
Helps the concentrates in the stuffs,
that's true. I had heard that in some markets people were complaining, not necessarily in this one, but people were complaining about their concentrates coming out a different sandy or not non-sandy texture instead of just being a big puck, and they were not happy about it.
Well,
That's why the dispensaries, you should have a fridge for your concentrates.
It depends on where you're at. Some
Sure.
of these, I literally went into a dispensary that was inside of a shipping container.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it had a window cut out of it
Cool.
with some bars on the
Was
outside
it
of
hot?
it. I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
But I mean, it depends, dude. I don't know. There could be a lot of ways,
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're in a shipping container, you keep the best AC in that thing. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
You got to store your
some of these
concentrates
places,
nice.
they're just
Just get
random
a,
holes in the walls.
get a wine cooler. They're cheap. Controls humidity and temperature. And if you have sealed jars, it should be fine. I'm just saying. Like there's low cost options if you actually care.
Yeah, problem is the quantities
Sure.
of things that are there. Like
Sure.
a cooler, I could fill that with one product, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like
You know what
each
sucks?
individual little jar, if you had it, but the packaging fucking
Right.
it just multiplies it, If it was just one thing, it'd be one thing, but
Yeah. Well, the other thing is wait till they have like a central warehouse location that they want to store everything in, and imagine that product just sitting in a hot warehouse on a
no,
July
they already
afternoon.
they're being delivered in fucking vans that are driving down the highway in
for
the
sure.
middle of the 100-degree
Yeah, for
weather
sure.
and shit. And some of those places have coolers with ice packs in it, and some of them whatever. I literally had one delivery cooler with ice packs from. It was not a dispensary, a cultivation. It came from fucking Amazon, whatever. But it had like ice packs in it. Dude, the fucking ice pack was like expanded. It was so hot.
Oh,
You know what I
damn.
mean? Like, yeah, it was
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. It was some chocolate that was in there.
Oh,
Fucking
I gotcha.
Brooksides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ever had them?
No,
Brooksides?
not a big chocolate fan.
Oh, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
hear it.
It's just I mean, as
Brookside.
I get older, the chocolate just doesn't agree with me. But
Oh, I'm
you know what I
sorry
mean?
to hear
Yeah.
that. Me and chocolate are hopefully gonna have a long-term relationship.
Mhm.
Um,
Love me a Kit Kat though.
it's got to be one of my longest-term commitments. Is chocolate.
Chocolate?
Yeah, I think so. Sugar as a whole, probably.
Yeah.
But
for
anyway,
sure.
I keep going back to it. Brooksides, though, they're like little fucking fruit covered in chocolate
Oh,
shit.
sweet.
Oh, they're
Sounds good.
giggity gas.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like I'd eat all of them.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
problem. That's so I just
Yeah.
nah, I'm good. It's cool. Fucking had a tournament this weekend. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I came out and watched you shoot for a while. That was fun.
Yes.
It was good to see all y'all, all the homies. Shout out
Yes.
to all the homies who played well
what?
and who, played how they wanted to.
Oh, had a couple of Slayers out there. Ralph absolutely killed the game.
Love that guy. Beardo.
Yeah.
Danny battled all day to come
Yeah.
in second to
Mike fucking
Tom
was up
Earhart.
there playing. Tommy fucking
Yeah, Mike
killed.
Conley. That was
There
all
was
super cool
it
stuff.
was good golf. The
Yeah,
FPO was a fun watch. That
yeah.
was I mean, there's
Lexi
some
won, right?
killers. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some killers out there in this. I love that game, and I
Hmm.
think it's really fun to see the local scene of people compete sometimes. I'm not very competitive. I just don't have the bone in my body, nor those things feel like Tough Mudders to me,
They do.
I'm too man, I was thinking about it after this weekend specifically.
That's why I was saying, like, dude, 2 rounds in one day is too much.
I got to get
It's
back in shape or something. I got to do some cuz it never used to be. I used to be able to play 3 rounds. I did a few 4-rounders back in the
yeah.
day and we were
That's because
fine.
you're eating mushrooms.
I was also fucking 20 years old.
Sure. How do
I
you think I
never
feel? I'm gonna be 45 next year.
Bro, I know,
You know
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
I do. I'm 35. I feel every bit of it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Age
No,
is starting to
you're 100% right.
every time you come
I'm not
around the rock.
diminishing yours. As long as you realize that you're at that point where it doesn't get better.
No, the
No, it doesn't get better.
deterioration it's
It
happening.
Yeah, it happens, and yeah. Wait till 40.
No, I know.
I know.
No,
So
but
do it
that's why I'm
now.
gonna start doing push 'em ups and sit 'em ups and
Do some pull-ups. Get a pull-up bar.
no, you know what's really important? It is push ups and squats
Mhm.
are the two most important. Get really
Balance.
it's getting your legs and your core involved in a if you do proper squats, you're getting
Sure.
your abdominals
Yeah.
involved. But also push-ups are very good
Mhm.
too because it then engages that top part of your
Yeah.
body. So just as far as like, 25, I would say 50, right? Push-ups and
Yeah, but start with
body weight
one.
squats
And if
a
you can't
day.
and if you
But
can't do one,
25 is a good point for anybody because you can do
sure.
5 at a time, 5 times a day, just randomly. And if it's like,
100%.
is it really helping? I promise you, watch the drastic change it does for your life.
I mean,
Like,
there's people who can't do one, and that's okay too. So what you want to do is you want to start with doing a negative one.
well,
So and then you can build from there. It's
for those who
what's
can't do
important
one,
is to start.
well,
That's the
and
important thing, is what I'm trying to convey, is that you there are ways to work up to 4 or 5. There's ways to work up to 1. You just have to start. And
yeah,
there's very simple things to do.
there's assisted ways to do both
Yes.
of those, though,
100%.
right? Like, you don't have to be up on your toes to do push-ups. You can genuinely do them
Sure.
from your knees if you can't do them from your
Yeah.
toes. And if that's a thing, if you're gonna maybe let's call it cheat it a little bit in one direction, then do
Well,
yourself justice in the other side, and maybe instead of sets of 5, you do sets of 7 or something. Really push yourself to go. And like you said, start with one because that's what I used to tell people too. If you do 1 step today and you
mhm,
do 2 steps tomorrow,
right.
by the end of the year, you're doing 300, 400 steps,
Sure.
right? And
100%.
and it's
It the
365, right? We all know how many days, but
Right.
it's the fact that some days you can do 2.
Yeah.
Some days you're gonna go, you know what? I feel like I had a breakthrough, and instead of doing just the 5 steps today, I'm gonna go 8. And like we can really jump leaps if we're willing to push our bodies to it, especially physically. Our muscle structure and our anatomy and physiology is rather resilient.
Mhm.
You got to fuel it properly.
Yep.
You got to then use that fuel for the right things.
Mhm.
And I promise you, I've seen some really cool just flips. But hey, take care of yourself. You're
Yeah,
worth it. I want to hang out with all of you more.
absolutely. So, hell yeah. Let's do some plugs real quick, and then we'll get into comments, news, and then we're gonna do Know Your Cannabinoids with Dave. I know,
Woo! I
excited,
can't.
right?
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
All right. So, if you grow, you know, having the right gear for your home garden makes all the difference. That's why you need to get on board with Crop Culture's quarterly home grower boxes.
Crop Culture releases insane value boxes every 3 months packed with premium seeds, growing equipment, and unique extras tailored for those who want to plant with a purpose.
But that's not all. Coming soon, they're launching monthly crop drops, where you can snag a pack or two of Fire Genetics along with must-have gardening accessories like AC Infinity's legendary trimming scissors.
We're talking stickers, mystery goodies, and deeply discounted bundles you won't find anywhere else. Just an easy one-time purchase with no commitment.
Their current quarterly box is an absolute steal, featuring top shelf genetics, a pH meter or smell proof bag, monitoring tools, fermented plant probiotics, and more.
And for our listeners, use the code 2DOPEDUDES for $10 off any purchase of $100 or more at cropculture.net.
So whether you want the full quarterly experience or just need a regular re-up, Crop Culture's got you covered.
Level up your garden and score some gear that'll have your plants standing tall. If you grow, you know you need to check them out at cropculture.net before sold-out regret sets in. Let them help you plant with a purpose. Hey, Canna Curious connoisseurs, are you looking to elevate your wellness routine? Take it up a notch with Mr. CBD Chicago.
That's right, dude. They've got everything you need from their brand new El Jefe line, with CBD and THC sprays for a discreet and convenient dose, to their legendary Moonrock matte bottle rockets and the always satisfying Spliff Society pre-rolls.
And listen up, 2Dope Dude listeners. Use the code 2DOPEDUDES at checkout for 10% off your entire order at MrCBDChicago.com. That's right, 10% off.
So ditch the stress and embrace the good vibes with Mr. CBD Chicago. Head over to their website today. Just remember, use the code 2DOPEDUDES for that sweet discount. You're not going to regret it. Hey there, fellow plant enthusiasts. Tired of using chemical fertilizers that harm your soil and the environment?
We feel you. That's why we want to introduce you to Green Grow Biological.
Green Grow offers organic soil amendments packed with beneficial bacteria and mycorrhizae fungi like their popular Pride Bloom fertilizer and flower finisher.
These little powerhouses work together to improve your soil health, helping your plants grow strong and healthy naturally. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, Green Grow has something for you.
And because Green Grow is committed to sustainable practices, you can feel good about what you're putting into your home and garden.
Head over to thegreengrow.com to learn more about their amazing products and how they can help you take your gardening to the next level.
And listen up, because here's a special offer just for our listeners. Use the code 2DOPEDUDES for 10% off your entire order at thegreengrow.com.
That's 2DOPEDUDES for 10% off at greengrow.com. Happy planting!
Yeah, you can find us, the Elevated News Podcast, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other favorite streaming podcast apps. At the Two Dope Dudes YouTube channel, please give us a like, leave a review, leave us comments. You can find us at supportdopepeople.com, along with links to any of our other pods and stickers just by providing your email and address. Also, t-shirts. You can email us twodopedudespodcast@gmail.com for any questions or things you want us to talk about.
What are you doing on Thursday night? You want to hang out? Well, Peace, Love, and Cope.
Yep.
YouTube. You go there. I'm there live.
Yep.
In real time.
Mm-hmm.
5 seconds of a delay or something.
16.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
You
8.
told me one time.
Well, if 8 is what I tell most people
Sure.
when we're playing games, and that's why I try my
Yeah.
best to stay at that standard. But 5 is for higher speed internets and stuff. You can see me quick is all I'm
Mhm.
saying, and I will respond
You
to
get-
you in live time
Yep. Direct response.
about anything you want to know about,
Even boofing it.
including the cannabinoids that you'll hear me speak about on this here later
Later segment.
segmentations.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, come hang out. We've
Yeah.
had some great people in there. Fucking, it really is
Tyler,
cool.
Knight,
Oh my
John
God.
always shows up.
Incognito.
Yeah,
Fucking
Macho.
Void. Yeah, fucking dude.
Yep.
We are getting some. It is so dope.
Yep. And
I think you guys way more than you know. It has been a lot more
Yep.
fun to have the cannabis community come in
Yeah.
force.
let's go.
It's pissing off Biz.
I was gonna say,
But what doesn't piss off Biz, you know?
hey, he was actually doing pretty good this weekend too. Shout out to Biz shooting well.
I
And I
love
think
that
I
guy
think
so
Hunter shot
much.
well too.
You know what? Yeah.
And I saw he's an MA3.
Biz actually, we made that song for Gary for his birthday. Biz killed it.
Mhm.
But anyway,
100%.
yeah, MA3.
Yeah,
He was,
MA3.
fucking Hunter was forced to play MA1, I think.
I know. Well, that's because his damn rating. That's why he didn't come play the flex, I bet. Weirdos. Oh, shout out. Yeah, Ace Pot got hit too.
Twice. Oh, dude, Double G fucking hit 12 long
What?
backhand
What?
through the little skinny gap.
He Tylered it? No,
in.
wait. Damn.
Okay. For those
Damn.
at home,
Yeah, 12
I'll
is the
paint a
downhill.
picture. There is a wall of trees on both sides. Okay.
It's so
From the regular shot, you can just throw it on the wall. It's like a
Wait.
tunnel of trees, and it goes down and kind of bends off to the right. Okay. And there's a basket at the middle. It's a pretty stock shot for the most part if you've got that shot. And for some people, it's hard, whatever. Anyway, if you move over slightly to the left to the other tee pad, it is still that tunnel. All right. But it has a big fucking tree hanging right in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I
Flex
cheat.
forward.
I even
Flex.
cheat. I put one foot on the standing pad, and I put my right foot way the hell out here, and I reach around and throw it. All right,
Flex
because
forehand.
get the hell out of the way of this tree,
Yeah.
because this tree is stupid. And the gap in between the base of the tree and the wall, it's not there. There's literally, it's Ving out.
Yeah.
So there is no space at the bottom, and it comes off to the other side. So at the top, fine, there might be some space, whatever, but it's not that great. This man squeaked one through something that a disc is 9 inches wide, maybe 8 to 9 inches wide.
Mm-hmm.
He squeaked that thing through maybe 15 to 16 inch gap down this corridor that bends the opposite way of the way he just threw it, and somehow it's the most glorious,
it's
one of the most
downhill. Wait,
glorious aces.
So he did a from the long 12 long. He backhand Anheusered it and just kept it low.
Just kept it on hyzer, let it flip. It flipped itself up, and then
Throw
just
a putter.
I forgot what it was called, but yeah, pretty much something flippy.
Double G, go
Sicko.
to church.
Sheesh.
Jesus.
You need some holy water.
Yeah, no shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I saw 10 got hit. Saturday.
10.
Yeah.
And 7. 7 and 10 both on Saturday.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, GG. Cash money.
Bang, bang.
Hey, let's get to comments real quick. John Voight, they must have been off on street value back in the day if that's all they were bringing in.
What's that?
I don't know. We were probably talking about something related to that.
Medical sales. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking about how much revenue the state was
Sure.
fucking bringing in.
Yeah.
And he's probably just equating very much so.
Fair.
Well, and that's the other thing is, John, they don't know street value is a weird thing
Yeah.
that is kind of made up, right? And you ever look in the old High Times? High Times used to have a guide in there for how much you should pay for shit depending on where you were in the world. Did you
Yeah.
ever see these?
I remember that.
They were cool. They weren't very, I mean, it depended on what it said, but like in some places, they were like $300 for, a zipper, and then fucking in other places they're like $5 a
Yep.
zip, It
Yep.
was like,
Go to Thailand. It's very cheap.
yeah. Red Buds are fucking
Yeah.
$50 a quart or something, It's like, yeah, they just made shit
Yeah.
up. It was cool.
That is kind of cool though.
But so I think there's probably some of that old made up, high time statistics stuff that's out there.
Agreed. And then there was a comment about THC-A, which I've explained that too.
Oh, guess what? You're in for it.
Yep.
Wait until later on in this episode.
Yep.
You'll know about THC-A.
True. Hey, we got some cool stuff. This is from our friends over at Marijuana Moment.
Yeah.
Volkswagen, which is one of my favorites. I've had 2 VWs. I had a GTI and I had a Golf MK2, which is it was great. 85. All stick shift, just great cars. So Volkswagen is launching a product to use hemp as a sustainable leather alternative for its car interiors.
Good.
Make me want to buy one. Volkswagen is teaming up with a German hemp company to produce a cannabis-based leather alternative for its vehicles. In the interest of exploring sustainable materials for its cars, Volkswagen announced last week it'll be working with the startup business Revoltech GmbH to incorporate hemp into its automobile manufacturing, potentially beginning with its 2028 models. This comes months after Germany's marijuana legalization law went into effect.
You know, a lot of people, including, I believe,
And there, you,
don't to count me if I'm wrong, and we might have even talked about it on this
yeah.
before. Elon might have endorsed some hemp companies to try and make some more sustainable battery
Ooh,
sources
that'd be
too and
cool.
shit.
Yeah, we did talk about batteries, lithium, yeah,
Alternatives
lithium
and
alternatives,
yep.
and I think it actually hinted at something about this too. Um, and I think that was like a German, that was a weird website that we
Yeah, I
got
don't
it from,
remember. And it's like
but it
it's
was
I
cool.
think I want to say that like we all are very aware
Hmm.
of the impact that hemp could
Right.
potentially have for sustainable
Materials,
materials.
yeah. And this is it says industrial hemp that's being used to produce the leather alternative will be sourced from regional farms. VW said the material will be 100% bio-based hemp use residue that cannabis cultivators no longer have use for.
Yeah,
I would
bingo.
assume
When that
probably herd or
when that's exactly it is
yeah,
that that's the beaut of the hemp plant itself. Or
leather-free, oil-free, vegan, and residue-based.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's super awesome.
yeah.
I mean, if I remember correctly, like
Love hemp.
the Model T had hemp bumpers, didn't it? I believe
Yeah,
some early
there
cars
was
had were
a
made
lot
out
of
of hemp.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There was a lot of hemp use in early auto manufacturing, I believe. Yeah, especially Ford. Yeah,
yeah,
specifically because I believe the Ford family had hemp farms.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think everybody did back in the day.
I mean, wild hemp.
What's his name? Didn't old GW George Washington?
Oh yeah, George Washington definitely had a hemp and tobacco farm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought they all did back then there
pretty
though.
much. I mean, it was used to make rope and
Yeah.
parchment and all sorts of things.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it grew so freely that they called it a weed.
Wow.
I mean, honestly.
Wow.
That's where it comes from. It was just I mean, we've talked about stories of wild public cannabis and hemp, right? So
It's
like,
still out there. I've
yeah.
seen it.
I mean, the house we're looking at, Brian, I showed you those pictures.
Yeah. Seen it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Those are females too. Those were definitely pollinated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. So
Keep it pollinated.
you got to keep it pollinated. Dude, I think that would be super awesome. Oh, here they talk about hempcrete too, which we know about.
Yeah, but I mean, so that's what I will say that through my experiences here in the recent past, um, absolutely love the experience that people have given me in the hemp side of things
Yeah.
and the understanding that I've seen with the hemp capabilities. I mean, it goes. What do you want to use it for? It's everything. It's
Yeah.
insulation. It's the wood itself. It's
Yeah.
the fucking fuel that you need to burn the fucking whatever with. It literally it has so many applications, including being an unbelievable fucking food source too,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
Like just it's crazy to
Hemp protein powder, whole hemp seed oil.
just hemp
Yeah,
seeds themselves, man. Just we made some hemp seed. I use them still.
that's
The
awesome. Yeah,
um
same.
yeah, love that shit.
Yeah, go pick some up at the Honeycomb Hideout out in Addison. Tell Mr. CBD we sent you, please. Yeah, I love that guy. He had his grand opening on Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I did not get to go.
Oh no.
I mean, after running the flex all day Friday, I was tired as shit Saturday. You
That's
know,
reasonable.
so. Here's a next one from Marijuana Moment. I know you'll want to talk about this. THC-O qualifies as legal hemp under federal law, this appeals court says, rejecting the DEA's restrictive stance.
Yeah, because the DEA is making shit up. as they go.
Well, yeah, and
We're
we know
literally
that. Don't give it away at the beginning, Dave.
well, and that's what I'm saying. Wait until the end of this episode
Yeah.
when we start talking about the thing. But this is literally
So this was the U.S. Appeals Court has ruled that hemp-derived cannabinoid THC-O acetate is federally legal under the 2018 Farm Bill, rejecting the position of the Drug Enforcement Administration that the chemical is a Schedule I controlled substance. The opinion, published on Wednesday by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit, comes in an employment case that rests in part on the federal legality of the cannabinoid. In it, the majority of a 3-judge panel ruled that the DA's interpretation of what qualifies as illegal marijuana is overbroad and does not apply to THC-O, which can be synthesized from other cannabinoids found in legal hemp.
bingo. That's the thing, is that all of these things are just molecularly changed by a smidge. And
Right.
then now Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10. I literally work with people, professionals of the cannabis world, who could not give you a clear and distinct definition between any of them.
Right.
It literally, they even, when they speak on it, say THCA and Delta 9. You don't want to know that Delta 9 bullshit.
Right.
And I was like,
What? Yeah.
what the fuck are we talking about? What do you do for, you're not,
Right.
yeah, whatever.
It's very confusing, and the government makes it that way. In rejecting the DEA's 2023 interpretation of the law, the Fourth Circuit panel sided with an earlier opinion out of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals that ruled the Farm Bill's legalization of hemp removed restrictions on a wide range of cannabinoids, for example, Delta 8 THC. Delta 8 being hemp-derived.
And again, just a precursor.
Correct.
I don't know if it's pre or post, actually, because I don't know if one of the, I think it might be post.
Yeah.
Anyway, who gives a shit? I'm not the molecular.
Right.
I'm not a chemist.
So, because the statute is subject to this other reasonable and we think better interpretation, says the new Fourth Circuit Court opinion, we reject the employer's contention that the DEA's interim final rule or letter mandates a finding that THC-O is illegal. Between the DEA's February 2023 letter and the Ninth Circuit opinion, we think the Ninth Circuit's interpretation of the 2018 Farm Act is the better of the two. So they're saying between what the DEA says and what this other court says, this is better. The other court is correct and this is better. And we're free to make that determinations ourselves, despite a contrary interpretation from the DEA, because we agree with the Ninth Circuit that the federal definition of hemp is unambiguous. Very important.
Wow.
Unambiguous. Specifically, the opinion says the Ninth Circuit held that it didn't need to consider the DEA's position on synthetically derived substances because the definition of hemp, or I'm sorry, not double quotes, single quotes, under the 2018 Farm Act was unambiguous in its application to all products derived from cannabis plant. So as long as they do not cross the 0.3% Delta 9 THC threshold.
Bingo.
Don't want none of that Delta 9.
Well, and that's exactly the whole point, is
Right.
that the interpretation is very clear to one fucking thing. It
Yep.
states one, that.
It can have
right there.
mushrooms in it.
0.3%
as long as it doesn't
Delta
have
9 THC.
Right.
Period.
Period.
There's no other interpretation that
Right.
anybody needs to understand except for that.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the governing law according to the laws that we all fucking live under. It's that.
Now it's all the agencies going, oh, we can't have this. This is too much.
Yeah,
we need
we-
taxes, blah,
and,
blah, blah.
each fucking different agency trying to
Correct.
give their interpretation
Correct.
for, when it's brought down to the what is the courts, right? The courts, I don't know how in tune everybody is or how in tune I am, but a judge stands neutral in all parties. They don't side in either way. They are there to interpret the law. The law is our interpretation of words, right?
Right.
That's simply what it is. So they are there to stand in and to go, what is best
Mhm.
for the interpretation of words for each party involved here? And literally two fucking different courts at this point, and
Mhm.
not just some slouches, right? Some fucking higher up courts in the world have fucking gone to the extent of saying they're wrong. Their interpretation of words,
Right.
that being cannabis, THC, the thresholds in which they define cannabis and hemp, their words alone, they have to change them before anybody can fucking
Right.
make it right. And until that happens, we all live under the same law, 0.3% delta 9 THC. That's it.
Here's another great part that I want to highlight. To further justify its reasoning, this court cited a Supreme Court decision from this year that overturned the so called Chevron doctrine of providing deference to federal agencies' interpretations of ambiguous statutes, writing that it means judges need not defer to DEA's own interpretation of the law. The opinion says of the federal hemp definition, even if it were ambiguous, we needn't defer to the agency's interpretation. See Loper, Bright, Inters versus Raimondo.
Wow.
Fourth Circuit's majority opinion added that guidance concerning synthetic cannabinoids from other federal agencies also supports this conclusion. For example, a definition of synthetic cannabinoid from the National Institute on Drug Abuse that defines the category as a class of lab-made substances that are chemically similar to chemicals found in the cannabis plant, though they often produce very different effects.
Bingo.
Yes.
They're similar, but
Mhm.
it's not the governing statute of
Correct.
0.3.
Correct.
Okay. we're wrong.
Cannabis attorney Rod Knight, who wrote about the Fourth Circuit opinion Anderson versus Diamondback Investment Group on his blog, called the ruling groundbreaking and unexpected. He noted the ruling could also have implications for THC-A, another cannabinoid that the DEA has deemed federally illegal and one that it says should be included as part of products' THC levels.
Yep. Which at this point, that's the DEA's interpretation of it. We're seeing circuit courts and
Mhm.
appeals courts both fucking saying, no,
Right.
that's not how this works.
Right.
You don't just get to all of a sudden, because you're the
Right.
DEA, start lumping a bunch of shit together because you don't want it to be.
Right.
Plus, the fucking DEA drags the fuck out of
Yeah, they
their
suck
feet.
anyway.
They suck, dude. Just be quicker. What are you even? What are they even doing? That's a good question. Anyway,
Yeah, what are you even doing?
what are you even doing?
Oh, don't forget about this. I was just scrolling down to see if there's anything else other than just some, uh, Rep. Mary Miller's amendment to the pending Farm Bill reauthorization, which was approved by a House committee in May, would remove cannabinoids that are synthesized or manufactured outside of the plant from the federal definition of legal hemp. That lady sucks. Anyway, Boo Mary Miller, Republican, Illinois.
There is something that just got
That-
shipped down, right? What is it? I don't know what it's. Did they make some new rulings on some shit or no?
No.
It's just that right there.
No, that was from earlier. They were
Oh.
just going through listing all the rest of the cannabis that are similar just to have a big article. That's how that is sometimes.
Nice.
Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, wrapping up, we've got 2 courts now, and this is great for us.
Yeah, because it's fucking lacking logic. It's
Yeah.
the same thing that
Yeah.
you and I
Yeah.
spew consistently on here is that what the fuck are you actually talking about?
Right.
It's not rooted in logic.
Right.
It's not rooted in math and science.
Right. What are we even
And
talking about?
it's not even rooted in, now that we're showing it, it's not even rooted in plain English, because the fucking courts are even going, these idiots are fucking this up. They don't know what they're talking about.
Here's-
More to be spoke on that
Yeah.
in a little bit.
Third one from Marijuana Moment is all Marijuana Moment today.
Oh, I like it.
Veterans group condemns Missouri officials for raiding a VFW post over cannabis on 9/11, but agency pushes back on criticism. Like I grew up right down the road from the VFW. I spent a lot of time at the VFW, the baseball fields. Like leave those guys alone. Let them do whatever. It's same as
What is Missouri officials for raiding? Who's the Missouri official? Let me
Sure.
what's going on?
A local Missouri veterans organization is condemning state regulators, claiming they raided their post on the morning of September 11th to search for unapproved cannabis beverages immediately after lowering our flag to half staff to honor those lost in the terrorist attack and resulting war. Sounds like they did it right when they opened.
Boy, for fucking
So, the Department of Health and Senior Services, so it's a Department of Health that carried out the unscheduled inspection of the VFW Post 2661 on Wednesday. They said they feel the group's characterization of the action as a raid is inaccurate and misleading. Well, of course they're going to say that. The inspection comes amid the state's crackdown on adulterated cannabis drinks. In a Facebook post on Wednesday, the local VFW chapter said the drinks they sell are all in compliance with state and federal laws, and they're only sold to adults 21 and older. To that point, a DHSS, which is Department of Health and Senior Services, confirmed that zero product was embargoed or destroyed. That means they didn't find shit.
Yep.
Two investigators found that the VFW post did not pose an immediate cause for concern, specifically in regard to Missouri children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Members felt improper for regulars. What the fuck? That is crazy as shit.
Yeah.
And also, you're gonna raid a fucking VFW
It's
and not
a goddamn can.
any one of the shithole fucking bars you have in fucking Missouri. I've been to so many fucking dive shitty shitholes that even back in the day were serving Delta 9 drinks and shit. This is 5 fucking plus years ago.
I was downtown St. Charles, and the liquor store is selling Ganja Goddess, which is that company that the dude up in McHenry. What's that place called? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but fuck it, I'm almost confident that Benny's is selling fucking
Mhm.
oh, Senorita.
Yeah.
Which is fucking a contract canner or something like that. I fucking can't pull off their name right now, but they make a fucking product in the state here in the legal market.
Yeah.
But they also contract out of the hemp market to make a legal product for Benny's, and it's in Benny's fucking stores right now. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Somebody told me that the other day. I was like, no fucking way. I mean, can't confirm
it's very
because I don't go to
common.
Benny's, but I was like, get that's cool as shit. Oh, it's somebody was like, oh, that's Delta 9 shit. And I was like, what did you just say?
Yeah. DHSS told Marijuana Moment the visit to the post on Wednesday was solely based on a complaint they received on September 5th regarding this establishment's products, and inspectors simply provided education about the executive order and the state and federal laws surrounding food code and approved sources of food. This is where it all ties in. This comes amid a concerted push from Missouri Governor Mike Parson to ban hemp-derived THC edibles in the state. However, an executive order from August to implement that ban has prompted a lawsuit from industry stakeholders and a back and forth with the Secretary of State about procedural issues with the order.
Yeah.
Last month, Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft rejected the emergency regulations to ban the intoxicating hemp products, rules that were supposed to take effect on September 1st. However, the official's rejection of the regulations didn't stop DHSS from carrying out about 60 inspections of businesses selling hemp products this month.
It's unfortunate, honestly. Just fucking, this is what I'm saying is like, let it go, man. Let it go. Fucking let people use the thing. Let people have access to the thing. Give it to, and then like, it's scary for, think about this though, real quick. It is partially intimidating to a dispensary group or a cultivation group, somebody who's in the cannabis space now.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it, if a Walmart or a Target that's already seeing 1,000 or multi-thousand people that come through a day, um, if they're able to start to carry the cannabis themselves, or if Amazon does, right? You understand what I'm saying? Like, we immediately kill half, if not more, of these dispensaries that are standalone companies that give people jobs and do all this shit and whatever. So, like, there's a part of me that doesn't want to see it go so fucking mainstream, so that, or not mainstream, but so that it's so unregulated that a Walmart's gonna have it necessarily, maybe, because,
I think we should
but
just have less regulation surrounding it, and then we
period,
wouldn't have that problem, obviously.
period.
Just
Right.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, it is important for dispensaries to be around because it is a safe access place for people to get medicine.
Well, and even then, like, at the
If
same
nothing
rate,
else, because I've seen like people have been like, oh, I'm like weird about going to the market, like this illegal black market thing. A dispensary is a safe place,
let me
you know what I mean,
just
for people, and there's not as much, trepidation about that sometimes.
no,
So it's important
100%.
that for dispensaries to be around,
And I think, though,
is
too,
what I'm
now that I'm
saying.
kind of thinking deeper into it, think about Walmart and their standing with communities,
Sure.
and think of how many people still don't want to use cannabis. So if
Right.
you throw a fucking cannabis shop in the front of your thing, let's call it like a pharmacy, in the
Sure.
same capacity they have their
Yeah.
pharmacies there. Now you have one like that, but it's cannabis. It's going to reek the fucking place up. It's going to chew it just everything's going to smell like cannabis. It's going to deter you from having some of your regular
Oh
customers coming
yeah.
through. So I don't know that maybe all of them would do it anyway, but
I don't think you should
I've
have
al-
cannabis in Walmart, but I think you can have THC infused drinks in Walmart for
I would say
sure.
for sure.
For sure.
I
I
would
don't want
say
to be picking up
can't
rosin at
no,
fucking,
exactly.
you know what
And
I'm saying?
that's where the I think the difference is. Now, does it become Amsterdam where it's only like coffee shops and fucking
Right.
but it's like bars pretty much. Like, can we find the social consumption zone, the comfortable medium where people can go there and do the thing?
I heard
Is it
state of Illinois, Meet ICA said something today that they're now allowing outside consumption areas and food. I think that's a new thing
did you know that
that they always have.
that parks are allowed to deem themselves, so like
Yeah,
different
we've talked about
yeah,
Eagle Ridge is open consumption as long as you're not an asshole.
it's a it's a public consumption thing, so you still have to keep it under wraps to a
Sure.
degree. You can't be belligerent with consumption, right? With anything, but you can't be belligerent with consumption even inside of a bar. If you
Mhm.
did, you can be arrested inside
Mhm.
the bar for drinking too much. You don't even
Mhm.
have to go outside. But so there is some of that. But it's a responsible level of consumption of anything
Yeah,
that'll get you where you need to be.
for sure.
I mean, I think, like, I don't know, stay in control. Don't, yeah.
Yeah, don't
Go-
don't get too much.
Hey, don't publicly consume in the wrong
That's
places.
right. Separately, a Missouri appeals court ruled last month that the state must expunge convictions for THC possession, just as it has for marijuana possession cases under the voter approved legalization law. Love that. Because obviously they fucked some people over and said, oh, you got THC. That ain't weed, that's THC. We're going to put you in jail.
That's so
That,
dumb.
I mean, yeah.
Wow. Now it's expunge more than 120,000 marijuana cases
Yep.
from our court records.
Yep, during the first year of legalization, but some courts have missed the deadline for felony expungements as clerks work to review decades of old cases.
Wow.
It was also reported in June that Missouri courts only spent about 10% of the 7 million that was appropriated to fund the record clearing process for cannabis. Meanwhile, in July, state officials transferred nearly $11 million in revenue towards from adult use marijuana sales, routing the money towards veterans health care, legal assistance for low income people, and drug treatment and recovery services. I can't wait. I'm going to St. Louis this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to St. Louis, Missouri too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time down there actually. There's some good disc golf, man. Some beautiful disc golf out there.
I might do that because I'm gonna go down Friday and come back Saturday. So
There's a place called White Birch. I think it's the first disc golf course put in Missouri.
okay,
It was put in by Ed Hedrick.
okay,
It's short. It's
perfect.
beautiful. It's a place
It's like
you can
Old
get.
West Park.
It's even shorter. I mean, you're like, yeah, it's an ace race on every hole. There's maybe one or two that go up a weird fucking
White Pines,
White Birch.
White Birch.
Fucking amazing little course.
Look this up tomorrow
Yeah,
while you're
I'll point you in the
editing.
directions of some badass courses
Yeah.
too. But White Birch is that thing that when I go down there, I'm like, gotta get me in here.
Yeah, because depending on what time I leave Friday, I mean it's only like 4 hours and 20 minutes. Not even that bad of a drive.
Yeah,
So maybe I might stop in Springfield and hang out with my cousin.
yeah.
So hey, I'm not gonna have any music, and I'm probably never gonna make like an intro screen for this. But hey, know your cannabinoids with Dave. Do 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 do.
Bum 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 bum.
I'm sure you can make a song if you really wanted to.
Yeah, probably.
So we talked about on the last podcast we were gonna start talking about different cannabinoids and terpenoids each show.
I'm in.
So when I talked to you this morning, you said my favorite one, THC.
We have to.
Yeah.
It has to start there. Period.
So I brought up the Wikipedia of THC, and I know you know a lot of this too. I know a lot of this too, but this is, yeah. So, tetrahydrocannabinol is a cannabinoid found in cannabis. It is a principal psychoactive constituent of cannabis, and one of at least 113 total cannabinoids identified on the plant. Although the chemical formula for THC describes multiple isomers, the term THC usually refers to the delta 9 THC isomer with chemical name. You want to say that? Trans delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol. It is a colorless oil.
So here's the thing: what you have to understand, the molecular chain is C21H30O2. We're all very familiar with
Carbon.
CO2. We're all
Right.
very familiar with water, right? H2O, right? We all understand the concepts of different
Right.
chains and the breakdowns. There are 21
Right.
carbon atoms. There are 30 hydrogen atoms, and there are 2 oxygen atoms.
Right.
And through the breakdown and where each one of those things falls apart, or whenever there is a break in that chain, this is where we're getting delta 8, THC-O, THC-10, fucking THC-J, all these dumb
9-HHC.
Yeah, HHC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of these things are different breakdowns of that molecular chain.
And THCA is just
the precursor to this right here.
correct.
Tetrahydrocannabinol.
It's got an extra
Tetrahydrocannabinolic acid has one more carbon atom.
one carbon, so it would be C22.
I believe so.
H30.
Yep.
O2.
Yeah.
So because we know it's just the tail end. It's the last
And you
tail.
I'm
I'm going to show this.
Yeah.
Like this
good,
right
good.
here, when we're doing it for sure. So they'll be able to see what we're talking about.
Perfect. The other thing that I'm thinking is that like we could even look straight up fucking THCA, but it is the breaking of the molecular chain, and what it does is it helps bind to different receptors. THCA, though it is binding in and of itself to receptors, it's not the one that is causing of the intoxication. But THC has to be the first cannabinoid we talk about because it's the only cannabinoid that matters, right? It's why why things are illegal. It's why the regulation is the way that it is. Everything is because of THC. And even the classifications we were talking about, the difference between hemp, and cannabis is all based off of THC. Delta 9 specifically THC, which is what we are speaking on. It is the activated, full blown THC. It's the intoxicator, right? And that intoxication that I'm speaking on now is not the intoxication that causes paranoia, or it's not the intoxication that causes well, I mean, if you have too much of it, but it's only in conjunction with other things, because THC on its own, I promise you, it's so boring. But it's unbelievably effective at the things that it needs to be effective for. And it's unbelievably good at binding to one of our two CB receptors that are naturally occurring in abundance in our body. CB1s are occurring more in the brain area, right? It's more the neurological system. But THC does a great job of binding to those, hence the intoxicated aspect of it, right? The
'Cause
stimulation
it's
of the
affecting your nervous system, so we feel
100%,
different.
100%. It's triggering of dopamine responses. It's triggering of what's the other one? Serotonin responses. It's triggering of, and it's all based off of what other aspects of the plant we put in with it. But
And then the CB2 receptor is expressed mostly in the cells of the immune.
correct, 100%, and then better stimulated by the CBDs of the world, right? But it's not that those are the only two, right? Because in those naturally occurring endocannabinoid systems that we have, all other cannabinoids and all other terpenoids and all other flavonoids would do something in the stimulation of those systems, right? It's not that it's just, oh, you have to give THC to it, but it is one of the most binding. It's also, as far as efficacy goes, it's one of the best for many things, right? I think for neuropathy, right? Low dose THC is arguably one of the most effective cannabis derived cannabinoids that I've ever seen for neuropathy direct. And it's low dose, right? Its nerves are already, they're very triggered here. It's very either up here or down here or whatever. There's no in between. Cannabis is very good at kind of taking the edge off of either of those and being more homeostatic. THC for sleep. Got to be one of the best. It's really good at transferring you through REM, which is where a lot of us do the nightmare sleeping and the too active of thought process. So a lot of us as cannabis consumers go, hey, I don't dream, you know? I don't dream.
Yeah, I can't even.
Not when I...
Even as a kid, though, I could never remember dreams. I didn't dream, like as far back as I can remember.
Oh, okay. When I was younger,
I can remember
I had
like one or two.
Oh, we had some like rough ones though, right? The ones that were rough were the ones that stuck out always. And I think that more especially you can see it in PTSD, right? Somebody whose mind is actively wired with these responses towards fear or it's just reactions, right? It's whatever it is. Stresses, whatever that stress is that triggers it, it heavily can appear in your sleep pattern, and it mostly appears in that REM block of where your mind is the most active. So to transition people through that with the thing that is the most abundant in the plant at this point, right? Because we've bred it for that, the thing that is the most abundant in the plant. I think it's silly that people don't have a greater access to it. You know? It's unbelievably effective at nausea. people call it the cancer killer. I think that it's, it's in conjunction with many things, but um, THC, it's as much a Swiss Army knife as CBD is, right? Because CBD's got an anti list that's longer than anything you can pull up on the internet. I mean, it's great
Right.
at everything, and anti-inflammatory and anti-spastic and anti-tumoral and antifungal and it's
Yep.
just it's got all of it. But THC has a lot of very good properties too, and a lot of breakthrough.
Well,
You know,
and here it goes on to explain that it's a lipophilic molecule, which means and it may bind non-specifically to a variety of entities in the brain and body, such as adipose tissue, which is fat,
right,
which is what the lipophilic molecule
right,
is. That's
right.
what fat is
Enters
made
fat,
up of.
right?
So it does target that, as well as other cannabinoids that contain a phenyl group, possess mild antitoxin, antioxidant activity sufficient to protect neurons against oxidative stress, such as that produced by glutamate induced uh, exiotoxicity. So it targets receptors in a manner far less selective than endocannabinoid molecules released during retrograde signaling, as the drug has a relatively low cannabinoid receptor affinity. I think this goes on to what you're saying. It is a Swiss Army knife in that it's not like, oh,
It's
we have to do this, we have to do that. It's like, no, we're going to give all of this
well,
some love.
when
You know
I
what I mean?
when I say that it is one of the best for neuropathy,
Right,
and then this goes on to say that it's a neuroprotectant.
right.
I mean, there are things like in this plant that are happening at a molecular level that if you're a doctor, can you speak on at the highest levels, of course? And could
Yeah,
Machulam sit down and probably rap with any, well, not anymore, but
right.
could he have in the past, like with anybody about the binding of all the, yes, but does anybody understand what the fuck this means? Most of the time, no, until you need that one specific thing. When you
Hmm.
go, wait, what is it that I need? Oh, I need a neuroprotectant.
Hmm.
Wait, THC is capable of that? Why don't I use THC? And we're like, this is the entourage effect
Correct.
described in its finest, right? Like, maybe you don't need to know why it's doing it so well. It's just doing it so well.
Recently, it has been shown that THC is also a partial autotaxin inhibitor. I'm probably saying that wrong, whatever. With an apparent IC50 of this blah 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 for the ATX gamma isoform, THC was also co-crystallized with autotaxin, deciphering the binding interface of the complex. These results might explain some of the effects of THC on inflammation and neurological diseases, since autotaxin is responsible for LPA generation, a key lipid mediator involved in numerous diseases and physiological processes. However, clinical trials need to be performed in order to assess the importance of ATX inhibition by THC during medicinal cannabis consumption. But there's something that they're saying that there's still, my point being is that they're still researching things and finding out new things. And the future is going to be great because we're going to understand this way better and be able to actually apply it and know scientifically how cannabis is helping
Click on
us.
that IC50 really quick. Tell me what that. Oh, does it? It does not have a link
Yeah.
to it. Does it
Um
have a hyperlink in it? Is that blue? No.
yeah, this one. Uh
I just wish I knew what the IC50 was
um
because I think the
because we know what
LD50,
LD50.
right,
LD50 is the half-life.
of toxicity, but
Right.
I don't know what this is. Anyway, it's just more that it's weird to me that something that causes a mild intoxication has caused as big a level of stir as it has, right? Because oh, and look at THCA there. It's actually got a little bit more going on to it. It might have a full.
It's got,
other oxygen atom,
I think it's got another, it's just got the other oxygen atom.
and maybe an excess. Yeah, it might have a full other oxygen. I don't really know. Not that it matters
Yeah.
because the break off is at 0.87%, right?
Right.
The molecular chain, 0.13% of a THC-A molecule
Right.
um, disappears, and then it becomes THC. It's not a lot.
Awesome.
But hey, THC, it's it's not it's not that scary, man. It's
So
actually very good.
can we talk about methods of ingestion with THC
Of
real
course.
quick, and then we can finish
I
it
mean, you
out?
use THC for
Yeah.
inhalation for breakthrough.
hmm It
Um,
says that peak levels of THC occur after 3 to 10 minutes.
correct.
Okay. So if you
I would
smoke
say
it with,
1 to 5.
yeah,
Like
sure.
the
Well, this says
peak
peak.
of your effects are probably 10 minutes,
hmm
I would say, after. And then linger for an hour to 3, especially depending on tolerance of
Sure.
things. But THC is um, for inhalation, it's about an hour to 3. For sublingual, you're looking at about 3 to 5 hours with about a 15 to 30-minute onset
hmm
time, and then edibly. But this falls true for most cannabinoids also. It's just by the way that we're digesting.
Yep.
But same situation. Edibly, you're looking at an hour to 2 for peak. Some people are talking about this quick onset, nano emulsify, fucking. I don't know. Okay, maybe it does. I myself have not experienced some cannabis product outside of liquids because I feel like maybe
Sure.
they're absorbing quicker or something. Edibly speaking, they don't hit me ever that fast, right?
I don't ever want them to hit me that fast, though.
But that's also my point
Yeah,
maybe
like
too, is like,
who wants to be like, I don't want to be instantly high.
yeah, well,
I
that's what
mean,
I
like,
smoke for.
right, that's what I smoke for. If I'm
Yeah.
taking an edible, I want like that
Kind of cruise
slow
into,
release.
yeah,
Yeah, I want to like,
yep, smooth, yep.
yeah.
And that's the thing is like,
Like I would say if I'm in like neuro pain or something like that, I want something quick. I understand like
yeah, but
quicker
it's
onset.
but
Like,
that's the problem with this
right.
is that people go, well, I'm not gonna smoke because I'm against smoking. Well, but that's fine, but you're against using cannabis for its.
How clean is the air in your house? I hope you don't ever go by campfires. I hope that you change your filters every time you get your oil changed in your car because otherwise,
Oh, I mean,
I'm
you're
just saying.
breathing in a bunch of garbage to
Right.
begin with.
So then what's if none of those are true, then what's the difference?
Um, Preconceived perception.
Sure.
That's it. It's a terror. It's scary to people.
I know.
But yeah,
And they don't want to
the-
be told they're wrong either. They don't even want to be convinced that they might be wrong. They just want to take a stance and to argue for the most part or to have a stance.
I specifically had a conversation at work today that went over well with a few, but didn't go over well with others.
Fucking calm down, Timmy B. Just do what Dave says.
No,
I'm just kidding. Timmy's our friend.
You know, people started getting all too political. I said, y'all,
It's weed, man.
you're being as ignorant as either side,
Yep.
right? If you're either side, you're being as ignorant as the other side, right? Because you've chosen, man.
It's not polite to talk about politics in public. You know why?
At a
because
fucking dispensary, bro.
Yeah, at a dispensary, man. Because then people start arguing. Then people like, I don't like that guy. Me. Just don't talk about it.
Yeah, literally.
Don't.
That's what I was
There's
saying.
no reason. There's no.
Even better than there's no reason. Like you're fooling yourself.
Polite. Just be polite. It's not polite to talk about politics, but the reason is because it causes bad feelings and arguments and baby bullshit in the workplace. Now, You want to talk about politics with your friends, in your own house, fucking on the corner, do whatever. But at work, man, just
Oh, it's everywhere, dude.
calm down.
It's
Well, see
on.
that I don't see it because I don't have a Facebook. I don't have to deal with that.
No, just go in the public, dude.
People
It's
don't talk to me about
crazy.
politics.
I know. Well, maybe.
I mean, I talk to people
depending
about
on where you're
politics
at.
depending if they bring it up, but it's usually just me going, government sucks.
Yeah, well, and
And
that's
then they don't have anything.
my whole point to any of what I've been saying to everybody is like, if you pick a side, this time you might win. Next time you're gonna fucking lose,
Yeah.
right? But also, do you make your own fucking decisions, or do you just pick the voice of somebody that you think you align with more properly, and then you go, oh, well, now I'm fucking.
No,
It's
people
almost
don't
like
actually do their research. It's too hard to do their research to decide what's good, what's bad, to have critical thinking skills, and to be able to logically think through something, look at the facts, see what actually happened, and
it
come to
takes
your
too much
own.
effort.
Yeah, that's way too
Why
much
would you
effort.
do that? Why not just get on board with whoever you
Sure.
think you align with
Sure.
more in your personal social life?
Yeah,
Go, hey, I hoorah for them.
sure.
Learn a few statistics so
Yeah.
that you can go talk to people
Yep.
because you're fucking awkward and you don't talk to people.
Right.
And go have a conversation about fucking politics.
Oh, man.
Like I was literally like, what the fuck are we talking about? But once I got into it, man, everybody was pretty on board, I think, for the most part. And the moral of it is stop fucking picking sides this shit. Like no matter what side you've picked, and no matter what you've had to claim more yourself, I identify as this or I identify as that. You're just causing more division between all of us.
Yep.
You know, I said, more than anything, we could use one goddamn good unifying event.
Yep.
Where all of us felt like we were fucking humans together. Fuck the different colors, fuck the different whatever. And if we had a common enemy, it would make sense, right? If an alien came down, all of us would immediately, we wouldn't, I don't know how to speak your fucking language, right?
Right.
At all. You speak fucking Cantonese and shit. You come over here, you see me. I know you. I've seen you before. You look like a human. I look like a human. We instantly get along.
Yep.
Hey, come on. What are you doing out there?
Right.
Them fucking big green fuckers with the big eyes coming over here, you know? And I could say that all, but mostly the fucking come over
Yeah.
here would be the universal, oh, I'm fucking down.
Right.
We would start to speak different languages.
Yeah.
We would immediately go, ooga booga, you know?
Yeah.
And then the fucking ooga booga would be the fucking thing that came from the sky, and all of us would ooga booga, and the second ooga booga, we'd all start shooting at that motherfucker, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
But until we get an ooga booga to come down and scare the fuck out of all of us, we got to talk about how different I am than you. You're different than me. I'm different. I got to prove to you that I'm different.
I'm so different.
I'm so much different. And I need you to recognize me as different.
Yep.
And tell me how special I am because I'm different.
That's right.
And let me get a raise. But also, I need tomorrow off.
Yeah.
And if you could buy me lunch,
Yeah.
I'm going to take a nap now.
Hell yeah. I got to go take my state mandated break.
Yeah. Bingo.
Hey, yeah. So next week, let's do THC-A, or do you want to do something different?
I think we go to the other big beast in
CBD?
the room. Yeah.
CBD?
Of course, dude.
Okay.
I mean, THC's first. Can I tell you all just THC is brilliant for so many things, and it's very capable, if nothing else. If you have neuropathy,
Yep.
you need to know THC.
Yep.
If you deal with chronic forms of nausea, you need to know about THC.
Mhm.
If you deal with headaches, you need to know about THC. If you have cancer, you should probably know about THC.
If you have cancer, reach out. We'll get you some RSO.
Well, and even then, I
Just
think there's
saying.
plenty of things that THC should not be overlooked.
Right.
For medicinal purpose, for symptom alleviation.
Mhm.
It's often overlooked or overplayed as this. It's overplayed as an intoxicant,
Sure.
a scary monster that's the gateway, right? That's what
Right.
this is.
My nervous system is tingly.
Right, but
Too much.
Well, you know, it definitely can
Yeah.
cause you some, you
Oh,
know,
for sure.
tingly Tingly bingly. No, I don't know.
Tingly binglies.
Tingly binglies. Now, just fucking, if you have questions for cannabinoid use and how to most properly, you know what? I need to speak to Joe. Now that I just said this to you, Joe asked me about how to properly use CBD the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, he said, "Hey, how can I use CBD more properly for myself?" And I said, "Let me fucking please tell you. Let me get you in the right
Well,
direction."
Joe, next week's episode is for you.
Yeah, I need to speak
No,
to
I
him
know
in
you need to
between
call
now
him
and
anyway.
then because he did ask me directly. I feel so
I
bad.
mean, he's not far.
But I did tell him to reach back out to me,
He's
so I forgot.
he's like 5 minutes from the course. I know where he lives. He's 5 minutes from the course.
All right.
Just saying.
Well, we'll make that happen.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, we love you all. Smoke weed every day. Peace.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.